This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching or listening today. This is VORW, and this is the voice of the Report of the Week. The voice of the Report of the voice of the Report of the Week, or VORW. VORW. So that's it. That's the show. That's me, right? That's me. It's not a multi-million-dollar production valued show. It's just me sitting here behind the microphone. For however long, usually about an hour in length, sometimes 40 minutes, right? Unless it's drastic and it calls for it. Most of the time, if it's under 40 minutes, maybe some rioting will occur, but we don't want that. So most of the time it's me sitting here behind the microphone for a little while at least. Between 40 and an hour and 40, right? Around that much time. I'll just sit here, I'll share my thoughts, I'll talk about current events, the weather, sometimes my own life, and of course, I will read the fan mail, respond to the fan mail, sometimes even give a little lecture. So that's the show for those of you listening for the first time. You might be wondering who on earth listens to this. Some people. And maybe you will too. But that is for you and you alone to decide. Regardless, it is 5:04 PM Eastern. Forget if it's daylight or standard time now. So I'm just going to say Eastern time. 5:04 p.m. Eastern Time. It is Saturday, November the 15th of 2014. It is a November, yes, we're in November. Pretty much halfway through the month, yeah. 30 days make up November. 15 of them is 1/2, yes. 15 times 2 equals 30. 15 plus 15 equals 30. 10 and 10 is 20. 5 and 5 is 10. 20 plus 10 equals 30. Yeah. So, halfway through the month. And I think this is my first true VORW show in November. I think so. I think. Now, because I say I think, does not mean that's actually the truth. But I think it is. Yes. Last true, right, near hour-long VORW show was show number 75, or 75, on October the 30th of 2014. Fan mail and general talk. Then on November the 11th, lucky 11, 11/11/14, it was VORW show 76, with my health announcement, and that was almost a 20-minute show, so it was nearly about, 1/3 the length of, a regular show. But still, I was able to get myself to sit down there and, be able to talk behind the microphone for a while, and, articulate myself, say what exactly, was going on in my life, and, that was that. So, yeah, we were able to work things out there. 4 minutes in, I had to check this, because sometimes I will sit here and I'll talk away and I'll talk and talk and talk, just to realize I didn't actually press the button on my, recording equipment and my microphone, and I just talked to nothing, right? So, we're recording 4 minutes into this show. I hope this to be a longer of a show, and I think it will be. I have much to talk about. If you can hear me, hope I sound a little bit better. I feel a little bit better. A lot has happened to me physically in the past little while. And, we've just dealt with it. We've had to deal with it. And here we are now. So, been there, done that, We'll tell you the whole story. How we went to the medical professional and all of that. And so we'll get to that later. Otherwise, though, I've been here. I've been doing things like what? Sitting here at the computer and recording a VORW show. So, other than that, though, well, here we are, living the exciting life, right? So, hope to at least get a review or something up for you probably tonight, along with this show, So, that's my plan. That's my plan right now, and I think I'm going to stick with it. Alright? Sound good? I hope so, because that's what I think I'm going to be going with. So, hope we can manage with this, alright? Alrighty. 5:08 p.m. Sorry if you keep hearing me clicking the mouse. I'm just trying to refresh this page here because it's not loading. Well, what's so important that you're looking at that needs to be constantly refreshed? Well, my friend, it's just this thing with shortwave radio. This one online receiver located in New Jersey, but it could only have like a certain amount of listeners at a time, and unfortunately the maximum occupancy of this site, for the equipment to, I guess, work properly, is only 8 people, which, given there still being, a very large amount of, people who are into this stuff nowadays, in the world, 8 people is nothing, so constantly have to refresh the page and hope that it opens up, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't think it will anytime soon, so forget it. That's just me, and that's my hobby, and sometimes I feel I get a little too into it, but, and some have said, whatevs, right? So, let's go get some water, some H2O, some of the finest a drink that this world has to offer. So it's 5:08. Oh, no. 5:09 now. I'm sorry. And it's dark. I'm trying to get a light on here. Give me a second. There we go. Two ice cubes in there already. But yeah, it is dark. You don't know how I feel about that. All the lights in the house right now are off. It's dark outside. It's like night outside, The sky is at this deep, bluish black, to the left, looking out at the west, the sky is, that very, very faint little orange along the horizon, but other than that, deep blue, twilight in the sky. To the east, it's black. Stars are coming out. Street lights are on. And it is dark in the house here. Totally dark. Got no light at all, except for the light of my computer screen, what is that? Is that fluorescent light? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. The screen light, right? The LEDs of the computer screen. But that's the only light in the entire house right now. Got some laundry going, but, alright, I'll turn on the light, when I'm doing that, but otherwise, yeah, here we are. Just got the computer screen illuminating, the office here, and after that, it's totally dark, And, I know, sitting here in the dark like this with, the screen here being the only light. Yeah, I know, that would probably freak some people out. I get that, I'm sure at one time it would have really unnerved me as well. But it doesn't anymore. Honestly, it doesn't. It just doesn't get me. I figure, yeah, it's dark. That's great. I really like a lack of light, right? I don't know. Like when it's too bright, I just hate that. So light, or the absence thereof, I should say, the lack of light, I think is a beautiful thing. Really, I like the dark. So, yeah, you could go on, and you can say, oh, you're sitting there in the dark like this, at your desk, if the screen of the computer being the only light, and all of your rooms being pitch black, there's something wrong if you do. You gotta get that checked out. Well, fine, go ahead and say that to your heart's content. I'm not gonna stop you, What could I do anyways? I'm sitting here, and there you are. So, realistically, you could say what you want, but I'm happy sitting here like this, so I'm not gonna stop. Just gonna keep on keeping on. As the saying goes, use haters, bees my motivators. So that means, you guys who, as some have said, is talking smack about me are actually the ones that give me the morale to carry on. I think that's what I've learned from my extensive time, on the streets, peddling caffeine at one time or another. But I think that's how the saying goes, you haters be my motivators. Is that really the truth every time? I don't know. If it's not, though, you don't tell anyone that. You don't say, yeah, you guys, who are, you don't say, yeah, you guys are saying all this stuff. You're really, you're wearing me down. You just can't say that, because then that makes them know that they're winning, and if anything, you are their motivator, right? You give them the morale, or at least you let them know that they're doing a good job, so they're not going to stop anytime soon. So, that's how it goes, but, realistically, I'm comfortable sitting here like this, so I'm not going to stop anytime soon. So that's what I'm doing. No problems with that. Not hurting anyone. Not hurting me. Yeah, you could go on. You could go on all you want, and you could say, oh, well, maybe you were sick with your stomach issue because you sit in the dark like this. Well, as I said, you got, go ahead. 5:15. Just played a game of Mahjong, and I lost. No more matches. What do you want to do? You want to end the game or return and try again? We'll end the game. Played this. I only played it 14 times on this setting. 111 of them. And this game lasted 5,128 seconds. So how many minutes is that? I don't know. 2. You spell 2. T-O. Space. Minutes. Minutes. M-I-N-U-T-E-S. So what was it? Let's just say 5,000, right? Was it 5,700? It was over an hour. We'll know that. Alright. So. My hands are cold. It's cold. It's freezing. But we can live with it. We can deal with it. Yes, it may be uncomfortable at times, but we can live with it. That's the weather here. Right? And right now it is a cold one. It is a freezing day. I think it's quite brisk. Some might say, OMG, it's so cold outside. But, well, it's a bit chilly. Let's see. Outside right now, the temperature is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity 51%. Wind speed 7 miles per hour. Indoors, it is 68 degrees, 22% humidity, so it's drier. No rain. Heat index, of course, 37. The dew point, 21. And the wind chill is at a mere 33. So, there you are. Forecast, at least right now, for, clear skies, sun, but I'm not going to warm anything up. Come on, turn off your light. So, clear skies, some sun, but then I heard that, Monday, we're going to be getting the storm of the century, right? Some rain and some snow. with some little to no accumulation. So of course all the meteorologists are going to blow it out of proportion. They're going to say, "Oh, it's snowing. You're going to see the snowflakes. We're all going to die." But realistically, no. Just some snow. It's going to hit the ground and melt, and then it's going to rain, and then everyone's going to be cold, and it's not going to be fun, right? You know, I actually saw the first flakes of the season already. I did. I was up on the computer a few days ago, and I remember I went up. I don't know where I was. I think I had to go up, and maybe I just glanced out the window, and I knew it was raining. I knew there might have been some snow, but I look out, and there it was. It was snowing away. So, excused myself, went outside, and it was around midnight, anyways, and yeah, I was looking at the snow. It was snowing, so I've already seen the first snowflakes of the season here. Which sometimes will come at this time of year, but most of the time you don't see the first snow until around Thanksgiving time, or a little bit after. So, I've seen the first snow, so it did snow a little bit. No real accumulation, so just a little slush, but that was gone by, later in the day. I think this is on Thursday. That's what I'm gonna go with. Thursday, I think. But yeah. Snow, frozen water. Beautiful little crystals, when you observe them closely or see pictures of them, like detailed, maybe microscopic, maybe just very detailed images of the snowflakes. Beautiful, crystalline individual patterns, right? In a special snowflake, that's where that all comes from, where every single snowflake is unique. Every single snowflake is different in some way, shape, or form. Yet, equally, right, beautiful, really. Honestly, snowflakes, though. For such a simple thing, right? Frozen water. That's all it is. It's just frozen water, Just makes such a beautiful, crystalline pattern. I think it's kind of interesting. That's weather for you. Weather and the elements just, it gets me. I think it's such an amazing thing. Weather. I really do. But, snow, right? Everyone gets excited when you first hear about snow. Oh my god, snow. Snow is coming. It's gonna snow. Maybe I'll finally get out of work from once, right? Maybe they'll finally have to close work. Right? Won't have to go to the office. Won't have to go to college. Whatever it may be. So, snow, right? I don't know about this winter. Now, last winter was a rough one. It was a rough winter. It really was. Extremely cold and very frequent snow. Very frequent snow. So, it was a very difficult winter, if you will. Temperatures, like 7 degrees, single digits. Below freezing at night. I remember that happened for a week in January, I think. And I remember there would be snow every single day. It was awful. It was freezing cold. Freezing cold. So, no fun at all. I don't know if this winter is going to be the same. So far, with it just being in November, it's kind of looking like it. 42 degrees was the very high today. 27 being the low. It's 43 yesterday, 47 tomorrow, 50 on Monday. And then it's going to be 37 and 35 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, these are winter temperatures right here. These are so I don't know. It's the polar vortex, they're saying. It's coming down again. The polar vortex, that's a real buzzword that yeah, it's the phone. Let it ring out. Who cares? I'm not going to move. So anyways, the polar vortex. Honestly, it's, one of those buzzwords, really, that, I don't know. Until last year, I had never heard it before. Really. Never heard it before. The polar vortex. But now, it's the only thing that you do here. Polar vortex this, polar vortex that. The polar vortex is coming back down, Used to just be called, a cold front, right? Temperatures are going to be getting cold again, but now the polar vortex is coming down again. Let's see. Who called my house? I don't know who that is. I'm glad I didn't answer it. Back to the lair. But yeah, the polar vortex. I don't know. You hear them use that term on like the Weather Channel and even the big news stations all the time now. But first time I ever heard that word was earlier this year. So I don't know. Just a way of saying a cold front. The jet stream. Arctic air. But no, it's got to sound dramatic. The polar vortex. That really does sound like such a more, dramatic name for, cold air. So yeah. Now where was I about snow? Or schnow. Right. With that SH sound that some people pronounce it with. Right? Schnow. Where was I with that? Yeah. So, snow. The thing about it, I don't know. Snow. Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking about how annoying that must have sounded. So, snow, right? The one thing that, I don't get, right, is that, some people love the snow, right? But one thing that I just find interesting about it is that, snow. Everyone gets so excited over it the first time it's here, and then, meh, right? People panic because of these big storms. You see them rushing, in these supermarkets with, literal shopping carts full of provisions because they think they're going to be snowed in for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? Realistically, it's not the case, but some people think it is. But anyways, so, right, with snow, it is interesting because I always think when it snows, and I'm not talking like an inch, right? I'm talking about an actual snowstorm. We'll say in excess of 6 inches. Maybe like a big snowstorm, let's say maybe like a foot of snow, right? A foot of snow. Especially when it snows at night, when the first snow starts coming down, I honestly think it is the most beautiful thing. I think it's so beautiful. Now, especially at night. Especially at night when it's snowing, you see the glow of the snow in the streetlights, it's just coming down, nobody's out there, it's utterly silent, all you have is just the snow coming down in this, almost pristine, right, placid landscape. The snow quietly coming down. There's no one there. The snow is undisturbed. This beautiful blanket across everything. I think that's quite beautiful. And I do. Alright? Don't get me wrong. I do. That's what I think. So, the snow falls, and falls, and falls, and it stops, and then it's there. And then that's where everything nice about it really stops. Alright, and that's the truth. Alright, because then, the snow is falling, right? Snow, everything is now there, So, what do you have to do now, right? What do you have to do now, right? Well, gotta move the snow. Gotta move it someplace else. Now, of course, there are a variety, and by variety, I mean a big amount, right? A large variety of ways you can do such a thing, but the snow is falling. It's the next day, right? What do you do now? How exactly is such a thing handled? Okay. Well, you got like a foot of snow on the ground, right? We'll say a foot. A nice foot. A foot of snow. So, there's a foot of snow on the ground right now. How do you deal with it? What do you do? Well, there are a number of ways of going about combating the frozen H2O. Alright. One way is the easy way, right? You simply pay someone else to move the snow. Alright? Now, most of the time when you're shoveling something, usually, you know, you're moving the snow off of your driveway, your sidewalks. Might seem self-explanatory, right? You know, you might be, some of you who also get snow every year might say, you know, are you serious? Like, are you that at a loss of words? Like, are you just trying to BS and just kill time for this show? Realistically, no, it's not the case, because you gotta realize that, you know, there are people who do live in, you know, warmer climates, like, you know, whatever, California, right, Southern California, anyone near the equator, really, you know, for an international audience, who, you know, almost never get snow. So, that's something I'm going to talk about anyways. So you got to move the snow. Of course, it's the easiest way to get rid of it is just to pay someone. You know, there's guys that just come around with their pickup trucks and they got, you know, the blade on the front. They'll just plow the snow, and you know, you hand them a 20 or whatever, and they'll move it for you. And they'll just keep coming back and asking for more money. Of course, you could find, you know, usually sometimes there's usually a young man or something who's, you know, who needs money for whatever, and has a snow shovel, and he'll say, you know, hey, I'll do your driveway for, you know, whatever, $15 or something. And you could fork over the money too, and they'll get it done. Or, of course, you can, you know, you can, I guess, shovel the snow yourself. And this is what we normally do. We usually shovel the snow off our driveways ourselves, right? A few snow shovels. So, that's usually when you first change your attitude from thinking of snow as this, you know, beautiful thing that makes everything look so wonderful, and how it's such a wonderful part of winter too. Oh, great, and I gotta move all this frozen crap, you know? So, that's one thing. Alright, you move it, right? Finally, you get a decent workout. You can think of it that way, but, you know, however you want to think of it, it's, may not be that nice, because it's cold out, it's windy out, you got snow blowing everywhere, and you gotta move it, and, you know, it's just not the most pleasant of exercise routines, you know, that there might be. So, alright, you know, you move the snow, right, but then in the following days, you gotta worry about ice, you gotta worry about having to walk in the snow, having to travel in it, all this stuff. And then the snow will start to melt, and the snow will just become absolutely filthy. And then what was once this pristine, you know, placid, beautiful winter landscape becomes just this, you know, frozen, brown, blackish, you know, polluted, dirty, you know, mess that's just there to inconvenience you. And then new snow falls, that all repeats. I love winter. Honestly, the only great thing about winter is sitting in there and watching the snow fall, because that's actually kind of neat. And, you know, the landscape does look actually rather beautiful when it does that, but otherwise, boy. Well, I don't know. So, that's snow. That's a little lecture on snow, the elements for you. So, you might be wondering, well, how are you doing, Review Bro? You doing alright? You carrying on? Are you even alive? Have you died? Is this your ghost talking to me right now? I don't think it is. I mean, maybe. I can't prove anything. Maybe I am a ghost, but I don't think so. Well, as I said, I went to a doctor the other day. So, that's the truth. Went to the doctor the other day, or the doctor, as some like to call it. Went to the doctor's office the other day, talked to the doctor for over an hour. Gave him, my case, said what was going on. Doctor was dressed nicely. He was wearing a pair of dark blue dress pants and interesting striped shirt, but it went. It was a yellow and blue striped dress shirt and with those pants, but it went. It actually worked. Yellow and blue, it's a combination I really don't think about often, but, in some cases I guess it does work because it worked for him. So that's what he was wearing. I don't remember if he was wearing a tie or not. I wasn't really paying attention. I was paying attention more to try and remember what I was saying at the time, so I didn't forget. But I told him my case, and we discussed it, and got full blood work done and all that, and the results will be here any minute. So that's when we'll actually see if it's any, detrimental physical, right? And like an actual condition. Otherwise, it's just mental, right? That's another thing to put on my plate. Thankfully, though, things have actually gotten a bit better regarding the pain. A little bit today, but not much at all. And the past few days have been pain-free. So that's nice. The only problem with me now has been, as soon as the pain and all that went away, another thing started up, and that was another outburst, I guess another bout, of depersonalization and derealization. Now, it's a disorder, but I don't know if it's just a complication of something bigger that I have, maybe anxiety, I don't know, or if it's just a whole thing in itself. But it was back all day Thursday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, but not today. I slept for 10 hours last night, and it went away. But depersonalization and derealization, something that I have from time to time. Usually it only lasts for about 20 minutes, 10 minutes, but there'll be more severe cases for me where it'll be around for as long as a week straight, and whatever. Here it's been around for like 3 days straight, but it's finally gone away. Now, for those of you who don't know, depersonalization and derealization, well, it's two separate things that actually goes hand in hand, and they're both, found with each other, usually. And what it is a pretty much... Sorry about that, just saw a funny picture. So, what it is really it makes you feel like you're not there, that you are an outside observer of your own life. You really can't feel anything. You think it's pretty much you're almost like not even conscious, really. It's like you're actually watching, your own life from a different location. The passage of time is all messed up. It's just really not good. And I remember someone was, challenging me on that the last time I shared that. They're saying, you don't know anything about this. You're lying. You don't get that. And that's fine. You could say that to me again. It's, I know what I have, and I know my body and my mind and what's going on. But you can say that all you want. I'm not gonna stop you. I have no reason to. So it's up to you. But I had to deal with that for a while. But finally, finally subsided. So that's good, at least. So, what will the issue be today? I don't know. Hopefully nothing. But it always seems like it's some sort of issue, right, with every single new day. It's unfortunate, but it's how things are. So, whatever. It's just how it is. I can live with it. Not pleasantly, but I can live with it. Alrighty. So, that's that. So, we'll see, but maybe it's all psychological. Very well may be, actually. Alrighty. So, if anything, just know I'm in a little bit of a better health. And, if anything, I could actually, sit here and be able to, record this, for you. So, that's nice. Alrighty. So, shall we see what's going on in the news, and then we'll maybe read a little bit of fan mail. Alright, we'll read a little bit of the fan mail, and, guess that'll be that. We got a lot of fan mail to read, but we'll just read what's relevant, because a lot of people, said, get well soon, and all that stuff, and that's more, personal and private, and number one, I don't think anyone would appreciate that being read on the show, and number two, I always want to respect everyone and all that, so we'll just read the stuff that we find applicable, and, that'll be that. Now, speaking of, before we, start, understand that I have a lot going on, I have a lot of issues, and it's still not perfect. So, I could give a show today, but just don't assume that, I'll be able to be in optimal health, and I'll be able to be here, in, a day and a half or 2 days, and I'll be able to do this again. I hope I could, but understand that I still might be taking it slow, and that, as I said, uploads will, still, be, irregular. Alright. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the news. A doctor who contracted Ebola, he's actually a surgeon, who's critically ill with Ebola, arrives in the U.S., Nebraska, that is, for treatment. So, taking in another patient with, obviously, very high precautions, not taking any chances. So, we'll take him in, we'll care for him, and I guess send him on his way. But taking care of another Ebola patient, under very, strict circumstances, so I think it'll be fine. Well, the European, Space Agency made history the other day when they were finally able, able to land, that lander, that probe, on that moving comet. So, they're able to land it, made history, and then it landed in the shade. Right? And because it was a solar, charged instrument or vehicle, well, lost its power. Now, don't get me wrong, it was able to do some critical research, but then it lost power, its battery's dead, so I guess now it's just sitting there on the comet. It's lost power, so it's sitting there. So, I made history, it was an absolutely amazing thing, but as some were saying, did it discover the story of humanity like some thought it would? No. So, Rosetta Lander, I think it's called. If it's still sitting on the comet, there's still some hope that the comet will eventually, get, possibly in a new angle where the sun could shine on it and give it power again, but, we'll have to see. Well, Ukraine conflict is really getting worse and worse. Russian troops were, observed. Not that they haven't done that many times before, but they were observed formally crossing into Ukraine. There's fighting going on all over the place there, in Donbass, that region of Ukraine. And really, though, it's fighting everywhere, the separatist rebels who are trying to fight for this, state, this People's Republic in eastern Ukraine, they could be allied, I guess, with their allegiance to Russia, right? I don't know, they just, I guess they're fighting for what they believe, and they've definitely got a foothold, but it's just, things are starting to get a little nervous here, and, with this build-up now of Ukrainian forces and Russian allied separatist rebels, with the fighting really increasing there, and the truce which they once had back in September literally falling apart at the seams. The way things look right now, it won't be long until it turns into a full-blown conflict. It's not what I want to see, but unfortunately that looks like where it's heading right now, so we'll have to see. Anything else going on in the world? Well, Ebola's there. You got Islamic State. There was a video that was spreading around online called the Syrian Hero Boy, right? What made it look like there was this little boy that I think went and was, was being shot at by what was believed to be like ISIS, snipers or soldiers, and he ran out and saved that little girl and played dead and whatever. It made him look like a hero. Well, turns out that video was actually faked by a Norwegian director, so never happened, not real. So it's unfortunate that's faked, and that act of heroism really was nothing more than just a little actor. But no doubt about it, things like that still do happen every single day in the real world and just aren't captured on film. So something to think about. And also the leader of ISIS, Mr. al-Baghdadi, who was believed to have died, in an airstrike, is still alive. He recently released an audio message, about 18 minutes in length, talked about, how the Islamic State needs to go out there and, fight, what was it now? They got to go after Saudi Arabia now. Got to attack them, this and that, and the other thing. I guess really the Islamic State just hates everyone. Just wants to take over the world, pretty much, right? So, I guess that's that. Apparently I just heard also, and I don't take this, as fact, but I read that the ISIS executioner, the man, who was there in all those videos, right, all those propaganda videos with the knife and was beheading everyone, who was nicknamed the Jihadi John. Apparently he was wounded in an airstrike, but that is unconfirmed and not fully reported, but it's possible. So, no doubt we're really battering the Islamic State with airstrikes and everything, but they're still holding out. They're a resilient bunch. That's for sure. That's the problem. They're fighters. Unfortunately, they have high morale. They're not willing to give up easily, and that means, unfortunately, a lot more efforts are going to have to be put into this conflict, and a lot more people are going to die. That's a very unfortunate thing. So, that's where things lie now. Let's just read some fan mail, okay? Alright. We got a lot of stuff here anyway, so we'll just read whatever we can get to, and then, when we hit the top of the hour, we'll sign off. And dear Mr. Report of the Week, I'm a big fan of your show. You are a very, very compelling, unique character that you are enjoyable to watch. I had a great friend once who reminded me, or who you remind me of, and for that, I want to make 2 suggestions that may bring your channel to even more fame. Well, I don't know if I want to bring my channel to more fame, right? I don't do this for the views or the subs. I always like a nice audience, but, you know, it's not, I don't do this for more views or for more subs or for any of that. I just do this, you know, because it makes me happy and I like doing it, so I don't stop. Anyway, 2 suggestions. 1, make a playlist of your energy drink reviews. YouTube really scrambles all of them, and it's difficult to find them all. They, personally, are my favorite, as there's something about an odd-colored fluid being poured into a fine glass that is intriguing. Maybe that's a possibility. I could work on that. And 2, I know a lot about marketing, and I'm confident I have a useful change for you to make to get even more traffic to your channel. It would be a gamble to allow comments on your videos, but maybe not as much as you'd think. Please let me explain. The source of a channel's popularity is, in part, due to the comments. Both positive and negative comments add to a video's fame, believe it or not. As the saying goes, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. If a comment whines about how much a channel sucks, the person reading that comment is more likely to watch and become engaged in the video. If that's that bad, they want to see it for themselves. In addition, there will be more positive comments in retaliation. My marketing professor said, "It's better to be controversial than to be boring." And in my own experience, I've seen this to be reliably true. A video with no comments is likely to be skipped. It's human nature. We all want stimulation, excitement, controversy. We all want to pick a side. You have plenty of loyal followers, as evidenced by your good like-dislike ratio. I think it would be smart for you, sir, for your channel to allow comments. If you actually read this, thank you for your time. James. Well, thank you, James. Now, comments for me are something that I really don't want to enable. Because while things may, you know, seem, right, with the like-dislike ratio through the... Oh, great, I just messed my hair up. So, you know, whilst things may, you know, seem nice with the, I suppose, what have you, like-dislike ratio, right, the amount of, I guess, positive, right, if you're an avid listener of the VORW show, the positive messages on the show, right, and all that, it only seems to be the case that the... This isn't a good comb. I need a fine-tooth comb. Let's go to another location. I messed my hair up. I had an itch and I don't know, just messed it up. So, let's go upstairs. Anyways, so, the problem with the comments, right? While it may seem to be, you know, obvious, right? You got a good like-to-dislike ratio. You clearly have a wonderful community from what, you know, you see on the VORW show, right? There we go, this is a good comb. Let's redo the part. So, while it may seem, you know, to be the case, right, I don't know, something just happens. When you leave people, alright, I'm not saying this about anyone here, because I know you all of you are a good group of people. And that's been proven to me time and again. So if there's anyone I'm talking about, it's not you guys, alright? But something just happened. Something just happens. And when I leave people the ability to comment, and yes, I've done that a few times on videos, kind of like as tests, almost. Sometimes I'll leave the comments section, you know, open a little bit, just to try something out. Right? And I'll leave it open for like whatever, 10, 15, 20 minutes, not long. So anyone can comment to their heart's content, just so I could see what people would comment. And I do that every few months, out of the blue, unscheduled. So it gives me a good, grasp at where things may, stand, right now. Most of the time, I don't know, it's a cesspool. I get what you're saying about good and bad comments and all that, and I understand. It wouldn't, always be good, and it wouldn't always be bad. But I don't know. It just makes me wonder. Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I don't know. Just weird. Because realistically, you see all this stuff, and it makes you think it would be quite the contrary, but I don't know, it's just, stupid stuff being posted. You see people saying, I don't know, whatever, he's, look at this beta, whatever, this bleep, right? Oh, look at him, he's so autistic, Wonder when he's gonna die. All this stuff that, I don't need to be seeing, and, because quite frankly, I've already seen enough of that stuff, believe me. So, when you see that stuff, and when you think, you think to yourself, oh yeah, I gotta find community, right? Let me try this out in the comments, and then this is what you see. It's rather demoralizing, and I don't want to just, have to see that every single day, right? But there will be times, right, where I will, when I'm doing videos, I'll leave comments at what I call pending. And when the comments are left at pending, that means that it'll look like comments are open. And you can comment. Alright? But the comment won't go through. It'll go to me, I'll see the comment, and then you could approve or disapprove of it. Alright? You could approve or disapprove of it and delete it. So I'll leave it open like that for about 8 hours, and I'll get all the comments, and I won't approve any of them. Alright? I'll just read them all and see, well, alright, this is what people would say. This is where things stand now with the comments section. So, that's how things are. I'll have to do that again sometime. It's just one of my tests, so if you're able to listen, into the show and, if you're able to listen for me for like, how many minutes we're talking now, like 45, 40 minutes. Well, now next time you see it like that, I'm not actually bringing back comments. Just a little test of mine. So, we just got some insider information, right? So that's what you get for being able to put up with me for so long. There we go. There we go, people. We're combing their hair, and it looks nicer now. A good comb, looking like $2. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say looking like $1 million. No, looking like maybe $2, maybe $2.50. So, that's really, when it comes down to it. Sorry about that. I did a little bit of editing there. Phone rang, and so I got the call. Anyways. So, when it comes to the comments, that's that. I just want to clear up any issues and any discrepancies and all of that when it comes down to it, so that's why. And, there we are. Alright? Okay. See what else we got. Hello, Report of the Week. How are you? I'm doing alright. Better than before. Anyways, I want to congratulate you on 22,000 subscribers. Honestly, I've been watching you when you had about 390 or something. Great job on all the videos. Nice dress habit, might I add. Maybe get some Aloha shirts. I do have an Aloha shirt. And good luck with the pain you've been having for 2 weeks or so. Oh, I never requested this. But would it be possible to do a McCain pizza review? I'm not sure if they have that in the States, but we got it in Canada. From Dennis. McCain pizza. Let me see. Let's see some images right now. Okay, I see the pictures. Yeah, it looks like a traditional, almost like a frozen pizza. Welcome to McCain Foods USA. I wonder if they're USA or whatever, if that's, let's see, food service. Food service. I'm guessing that I would have pizza. Looks like the same company. It is USA. So I'm guessing that they would, have something. So I'll look into it. All right. You should save up for a new camera. Nah. I'm content with my old one. Or my current one. I'm fine with it. It's gotten me through the good times and the bad, but I like it. I got no problems with it. So, really, oh no, I've got no problems at all. So, that's that, I guess. Hey there. First of all, I really enjoy your reviews. I'm curious though, are you ambidextrous? Seems a bit like that. All the best from David. Thank you for your words, David. Am I ambidextrous? In some ways I am. I mean, I can't. I consider myself, a righty, right? Dominant in my right hand. I always write with my right hand. So, am I ambidextrous? Some have said I am. I don't know if I am or not, but some have actually said, yeah, he's ambidextrous. I don't know. I couldn't tell you for certain. I can't confirm either way. Hey man, you alive? I am. I'm alive. Hi. I'd like to request you review Dr. Ediker's Ristorante Pepperoni Pizza. Regards, Alex. Yes, Dr. Ediker. Ristorante Pepperoni Pizza. Got that at ShopRite. I will review that at some point in time. So do not worry, you will get a review out of me at some point in time there. Where did you get the pumpkin spice M&Ms? I have looked all around town and was unable to find any. Well, I was able to get them at ShopRite, actually. Local ShopRite. That's where I was able to get them. And everything worked out there. So maybe try that. I don't know if it's, since it's long past, Halloween. I don't know if it'll still be there, but it's always worth a shot. That's where I got them. The ShopRite. Dear the Port of the Week, I consider myself a long-time viewer of your channel. After watching countless of your DiGiorno reviews, I've been getting them while they're on sale. This may be a question I was never asked before, but I'd like to know, after moving the pizza from the oven, do you let it sit or cut it right away? Do you use a pizza cutter or a knife? Perhaps kitchen scissors? Your pizza slices always look better than mine. I try different methods of cutting it to no avail. Thanks for your help. Or thanks for all you do. Well, after I take the pizza out of the oven, here's what I do, okay? After I remove the pizza from the oven, I'll let it sit for about 2 minutes. Then I'll cut the pizza, and I use a pizza cutter. All right, the one with the little handle and the little circular blade. And I'll use that, and I'll cut the pizza. And then I'll let it sit again for like another 3 minutes or so. Let it cool off while the slices are separated. And that's how things work out for me. That's nice. I was able to do that last night. Had a DiGiorno pepperoni pizza. Apparently they brought back the old style sauce. You can tell how excited I was about that. It was awful. I hated it. I honestly like this, this whole artisan type stuff, the DiGiorno pizza, the new sauce, but they brought it back to the basics, and it just tasted like regular over-processed frozen crap again. So, now all I'm left with is bruschetta. That's all I'm going back to again. Your report of the week. I'm a wee bit disappointed you decided not to send me a signed napkin for my birthday, but don't worry about it. It's all good, bro. I guess it was a big ask with international shipping and whatnot. Hope you're feeling well. Like you, I suffer from anxiety and all that BS that goes along with it. Depersonalization is made even worse when it's so bloody cold you can't feel your hands. Yes. The dark, cold, annoying weather is making me feel low, but not too bad, really. Hope the season doesn't affect your mood like it does some people. I find giving yourself rewards each week encourages you back into the normal routine. Do you have any plans this winter? Yeah, not really. I'll just keep on doing what I do, keep on going with the routine. No real change, so maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. Also, what is your opinion on the Muppets? The Muppets, something I always used to be a fan of back in the day. Really, the Muppets. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Always was a fan of them. Kermit the Frog. Also, I think you've answered this before, but how many days do you spend listening to the shortwave? And do you explore the spectrum looking for new channels, or do you stick to your favorites? Followed your tutorials a while ago. I found a channel marked United States Navy. Not sure if it's a joke or not. Also, what occupied most of your time before you got into shortwave? Well, I listen to shortwave for hours a day, on and off. Usually on and off, but for hours a day nonetheless. So if you want, you could think of it something like, maybe I'll start listening to the radio at 3, maybe I'll have it on, various stations until 5, take a break, have it on again from 7 to 11, but for definitely hours a day. But it's not like I just sit there and stare at the radio. I'm multitasking while I do it. Now, I do have stations that I'll listen to regularly, This evening, for instance, there's a program coming on in about 10 minutes called the Mighty KBC, and they're a shortwave music station from the Netherlands, using a transmitter in Germany. They're broadcasting towards North America on a certain frequency for 2 hours of good music. So, I'll be listening to their station specifically for that whole period of time. Also, the newest shortwave station on the air, Global 24, broadcasting out of Okeechobee, Florida, up, through North America, also has a variety of programs that, I'll listen to in their entirety. Otherwise, though, there are times where I just scan the spectrum easily. I'll just turn the dial on my, radio, or when I'm online using that program, move with my mouse. And I'll just listen to whatever's there. And of course, everything's divided up, right? You have your broadcast bands for international broadcasters, and then there's everything else, for, some ham radio operators, number stations, and everything else, of course. It makes perfect sense that you found the channel for the United States Navy. Believe it or not, many navies and militaries, and even some air forces, you have the, EAM messages, right, that are broadcast, and that's with the, the Air Force, pretty sure. Some people, well, no, they could be for nukes also, but, Anyways. So, yeah, it only makes sense that, you would find a channel for the U.S. Navy, because, they do use shortwave. really, in the vastness of the oceans, it's one of the most reliable communication methods, through those distances, and then that barren, uh, almost, landscape, it's just water. So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was Navy, the channel you found. Makes perfect sense. But yeah, I'll definitely scan around, and it's always interesting. I scan around every single day, and I always hear new things each and every day. That's one of the things I like about this hobby. Also, you're right. Finally, any Christmas viewing recommendations? Nothing specific. Yeah, anything really. Christmas is. I just take it as it comes, really. I don't think about it too much, and whatever I'm just feeling, I'm feeling. Oh, what the heck? He says. One more question. Any tips for brightening up this season of vast abyssal darkness? Farewell, and keep watching the stars. Well, of course, I have plenty of tips. Wear suits, and be sure to listen to the voice of North Korea, the voice of Korea, as I like to say. Listen to their English service as often as possible, and they will give you the hope that you need to brighten up your day. Well, that concludes today's show, since I know we went well over an hour. Thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope all of you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. I'm feeling better, but, if not, then I guess I'll record again. I guess, at some point. Some point, hopefully soon. Alright? Remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, considerations, just want to talk, feel free to send me a message via YouTube, and I'll read and respond to it at the beginning of each and every VORW show. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you later. Take care.